Hey Danny, how you doing? Listen, I've got a question for you. Just wanted to get your opinion around data. I know you're big into data quality, but on the business side. But I want to ask you about data quality during database migrations. Should you or shouldn't you? I know the answer. The answer is yes. You should clean the data prior to the migration. Have you
Yeah,
thoughts?
I would say yes, but let's hope again. I think that that's sort of a one-time task that's going to bring you limited value. Obviously, it's going to bring the data over in a pristine fashion, but in the real world, in today's world, again with business trust in data being a huge driver for everything we do down in the IT world and plumbing. You if you're at the point where you're having to do a heavy cleanse for the migration, then you really might want to think about looking at data quality a little bit differently, and take advantage of this migration to maybe put a little bit more rigor in that, because
Okay.
again, you want ongoing observability. If you have to clean that much data moving from one database, then you better go back and look at all the decisions that you made off the data before that data migration, database migration, right? So but yeah, you absolutely want clean data in, but then as soon as you start writing new records, do you still have clean data, right? So,
My worry here is that look, we've initiated this database migration. We didn't know the state. We didn't know the state of the quality we have,
mhm.
and we're going to have to open up a whole new program here around data quality. Um, you're
Pay me
agreeing?
now or pay me later, baby.
Yeah, okay, you're agreeing with me, but is there any quick way out of this? Is this a case of like, look, do your quick win on data quality cleaning now, get your data across, and then start your data quality program, or is there?
Well, yeah, you probably, if you're at that point, if this is where you are at, then you're absolutely going to have to do that. So you're going to have to go through the painful process of profiling that data, and doing your best to understand what sort of anomalies are there, what kind of issues. It'll probably be very basic because your understanding of that data will be somewhat limited. One of the benefits of some of the new ways of doing data quality moving forward is leveraging a lot more intelligence, machine learning, and allowing yourself to train your organization on what data quality is, and then build those and automate those rules so that you're consistently looking at the data, right?
I'm
And
sorry, I'm smiling here because I asked you before about about being lazy about not having a data model, and I'm guessing you might be thinking is like, I think this is the result of not having your data model.
well,
Um,
it absolutely, well, it's not just your data model, but it's your full understanding of your data and how that data relates to the business, because that's where the rubber hits the road. So first off, I'm not hiring you as my CDO because you are way too willing to take shortcuts and just deal with the pain when it
it's not
comes.
me. It's
I
it's
don't
not
like
me.
that. Listen, as an old data modeler, the whole purpose of this has always been to avoid the pain, not deal with the pain when it comes. It's just the way it is,
It's true.
right?
It's true.
So,
So, do you have any upstream? I know you love going upstream. Do you have any upstream thing I could do? That's a keep battling. Is there anything I could do? I suppose quick and easy to help start that data quality program, but also help my database migration.
yeah, you would want to put in some quality observability into your data pipelines, right? So, and generally that will occur in and around a hub of data intelligence where you've built a catalog of all your data assets, understanding where it is, what it should be, and then taking a look at that and keeping that constant monitoring. It's going to give you so much value when you can see, is the quality going up, relative quality going up in this data source, is it going down, why? And we can start to recognize anomalies that are more than, this says it's supposed to be 27 characters and somehow they've put 35 characters in there. That's like real basic stuff. But once you start understanding what the data is being used for end to end, really understanding data, the full data life cycle, your lens on data quality becomes much, much more powerful, and it puts much more power in your hands to be able to deliver good data to the business. So there's no time like the present. A migration is a great thing because you're spending some money, you're moving to some new technologies. There's no time like the present to start saying, hey, we've also through this process identified some poor habits that we've got ourselves into in the old world. Let's get ourselves into some new habits.
So let's say I put a pause on I don't need to pause my migration program because there's things we can do in parallel. But how long would it take me to stand up that data quality program enough to the point where we can progress with the migration and being smart? How long would it take? Are you talking like 3-4 months, or are we talking about 18 months? Because if it's 18 months, then we're going to have to run it after the migration.
Well, I would run them in parallel. So, the migration is, you need as clean data as you can accept, and you have dates and requirements. So 4 months is your requirement. You need this data migrated and done. Then you're going to live with that pain. But start today on building that new piece. Now, it may take a little bit longer, depending. And again, every organization is different. So there's no data quality takes 6 months. For some people, it will take 6 months. Some people, it'll take 12. It may take 18. The reality is that more than likely you're going to build that infrastructure, and it's going to get better.
Like massively better. Like I totally massively better, because you can start building things on top of that quality. Totally get it. This has been a bit of a surprise for us. That's
no. But from a migration perspective, you don't want to hold up the migration, because again, you're not going to be any worse off than you were before you migrated. If you've got crap data in the database, you got to get it cleaned out, right? So waiting for the pie in the sky and perfection is not a good idea at that point. At that point, you want to make it as clean as you can, knowing that you're not going to let yourself be put into this situation again, because again, you're better off to put your bucket on a firm foundation as opposed to waiting for the bucket to tip over and cleaning up the mess
I think you can kind of go a little bit further back, as in like just watching the bucket, waiting for it to stabilize, and it's like never really stabilizing, and then you can never really step away from the bucket. That's a absolutely terrible analogy, Danny. But I get it. I totally get it.